Welcome to practice, and Donna. We're going to begin laying down, and we're going to take a blanket or a towel and roll it up or fold it lengthways so that it's like a little bolster for underneath the shoulder blade. If you need extra blankets or pillows, you could have them lying around beside you. So laying back onto that blanket and checking that it's just under your upper arm, under the shoulder blades. And when you lay your head on the floor, it doesn't feel uncomfortable for your neck. So if it does, you might need another blanket under your head. Try to find that the front and back of your neck are even in length and the arms straight out from your shoulders. So we're influencing the shape of the upper spine so that the space around the heart is more spacious, more room for the heart, more room for the lungs. And you could keep your legs in neutral, hip width, parallel, feet, hip width, or bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And then just discovering how your body feels on this equipment, in this posture, this shape. Noticing if it feels awkward or quite an unnatural shape in your upper back. Appreciating any awkward feeling. Any feeling of ease, whatever is present. Enjoying the flow of your breath. And then we're going to just stretch gently and ease in your arms and your legs and take it easy as you roll to your right side. And we're going to bring the feeling of that blanket behind the shoulder blades into a seated position. Mm. And see if you can feel the shoulder blade pressing forward against the back ribs and the balance of your spine. And we're going to take the head in nice, gentle circles for the neck. Whatever feels good for your neck. And we try to keep the shoulders back so we're not following with the torso. Finding all of that nice movement to the neck, around, and then back in the other direction. Maybe there's some places that are a bit stiff or sore. It feels nice. Appreciating your body's feedback. Good. And then finding center and even wiggling around a little bit, maybe rolling the shoulders up and back. And then letting your head just balance in the spine. Okay. Now, we're going to keep the whole spine, including the neck, in one unit. And take your whole spine, torso, head, in a circle around your hips. So if you had a pencil on the top of your head, you're drawing a circle in the air above. And as you do that, you'll notice the core of the body strengthening and then releasing, depending on where you are in your circle. Just tuning into that stability. And then the other direction. Nice work. And then finding the balance of your spine again, the length of the neck. Good. And we're going to lean back, put your feet in front, hold onto your knees, and just lift your feet off the floor a little bit. So again, you're balancing using the core of the body. We're mostly in that front to back kind of movement here. But really find those curves of your spine, where your spine feels its healthiest. Back of the neck long. Nice work. And then we're going to just draw a really little circle with the whole unit of the torso and neck. So sometimes the chest is coming closer to the leg and then it goes out to the side and then it pulls back a little. So just little circles, and we're trying to find that balance in the core of the body. And breathing. And then the other direction. Has the neck become tense while we try to navigate this awkward balance? So keep the neck relaxed. And back to center. Nice work. We're going to take an all fours position. And practicing our spinal wave movement. So you need more distance than normal from your knees to your hands. And you're going to bend your elbows so you can get some supple and subtle movement, that forward and back movement of the spine. So the hips are moving back and forward. Try to find a little bit of movement between the bones of the spine and the neck. Okay, there's another direction to this. You can get your spine moving. Finding the flow of your breath. Nice work. We're going to bring the elbows to the floor so that your forearms are sort of shoulder width and parallel. Walk the knees back. Begin to bring the chest towards the floor or the front of the legs. And you take this slowly. It's a big movement for the shoulders and around the heart. So take it slow, noticing what you need to stretch your shoulders, broaden the chest, relaxing your neck, and finding the flow of your breath. Good. And then we'll try with elbows off the floor, which is a bigger stretch for the armpits. So you again keep the hips high over the knees, and we'll start to bring the chest towards the floor, towards the front of the leg. So you open the chest and the armpits as much as your body allows. Listening to your body, really appreciating any feedback of that's enough, that's all I need to move. Back of the neck relaxed. And then all fours. So walk the hands in a little so they're under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and just arching the spine up and down. So tuning into that forward and back movement of the spine. Good. We're going to step the right knee to the right wrist and slide the left leg back. Now, I've got my right heel under the right sit bone, and that means the knee's not twisting. So that's a good option if you're vulnerable in that movement for your knees. Otherwise, you could swing your right foot further forward towards your left hand. And we try to bring the hips as close to the floor as you can. An option here, if you've got some equipment around you, like your blanket, is hold the blanket up and put it underneath your right hip bone to feel a little more supported. We're going to walk the hands back now and lift the breastbone. Start to lengthen the belly, the chest, and draw the shoulder blades down. At the beginning of the practice, we had the blanket under the shoulder blades. See if you can draw the shoulder blades forward. Nice work. Now, we're going to walk the hands gently around to the left side and lifting the front of the torso. Beautiful. And then walk the hands around to the right side and lifting the front of the torso. And then back to center. Good. Stepping your right knee back into an all fours position. And left knee to the left wrist. Slide the right leg back. So you can keep your left heel under your left hip bone. But if your knee copes fine, you can bring your left foot towards your right hand. And again, we're going to lengthen belly, lift the breastbone, draw the shoulder blades forward. You walk your hands closer to you. You can make that a stronger back bend, but we're not trying to squash the lower back. So really lengthening the back core as well as the front core. Beautiful. Walk both of your hands now over to the right side and lift the front of the torso. And then walk both of your hands over to the left side and lifting the front of the torso. Very nice work. Come back to front. We're going to bring the knees back so you're in your all fours position and little spinal weight. Notice how that supple movement, so hips are moving back and forward, supple movement, subtle movement, helps to dispel the tension of the back bend. Finding your breath. Low. Nice. And now for downward facing dog pose, or you could stay in your all fours position, arching your spine up and down. Tuck the toes under, knees off the floor. We're going to keep the legs bent to start with. Let your head just hang down. And we're going to sway the hips from side to side. So if you're staying in your all fours position, you can sway your hips there as well. Head is just hanging down. Hmm. Hmm. Lower your knees, almost touching the floor. If you're in the all fours position, see if you can lift your knees just off the floor. So we're all in the same position. We're going to press the fingerprints down. Hmm. And then you're either going to go back to your all fours position, knees on the floor, or downward facing dog pose. Mm. Feel that you're stretching your fingers wide, pressing the fingerprints, the base of the index fingers. Good. And then knees just off the floor. And then one more, either downward facing dog pose or an all fours position, arching your spine. Try to press the heels down now if you're in downward facing dog pose. Good. And we're going to come up to standing. So you might be walking your feet forward or rolling yourself up. Try to get your feet moving. You're taking those little steps. Ooh, and rolling up. If it's appropriate for you, taking your arms up by your ears, looking up. Urdhva Hastasana. Hadasana. Mountain pose. We're a spinal wave here in the standing position. So we're trying to get as much movement along the spine. It's that front and back movement we're exploring. Oh. And then the other direction. All those little movements of the spine. And the neck. Tadasana. Bring the hands in front of your heart. Take a step back so that you've got your left heel pressing down onto the floor. And from side to side, your feet are about hip width distance apart. Good. We're going to take the hands behind and hold as close to your elbows as you can, or have long arms, prayer position behind you. When you bind your arms, notice how the bones of the spine embed forward. So the chest is broader, more spacious. Good. We're going to bend the front leg and lean out over your front leg. So lean your torso forward. Ooh. Really reaching the top of the head forward and the elbows back. So the sides of the neck feel long. And you feel the space between the shoulder blades. Oh, embedding into the front of the torso. So the chest feels spacious. Nice. Now we're going to try and straighten the front leg. It might not go all the way to straight. We want to keep that good feeling in the spine. Keeping our balance. So try to straighten and notice where the struggle really sets in. And find the breath. A little bit more space. A little bit of kindness and compassion for yourself as you try to straighten that front leg. Good. Now we're going to release that stretch. We're going to let go of your arms. step forward and lift up so that you're balancing on your right leg. And the left foot is going to come out in front. And we're going to challenge ourselves by holding. So either hands in front of the heart, tiptoes on the floor, or lifting the leg higher, or even holding the knee or the foot. And whatever challenge we set ourselves, finding the length of the spine, the shoulder blades reaching forward, the back of the neck long, and find the flow of your breath. Good, releasing that side. Tadasana. Hands in front of the heart. Arm bind behind you, and you could, whichever arm you had on top, do the other one on top. Good, and then stepping the right foot back. So wiggle your feet if you need to. You want the back heel pressing down on the floor, so the legs are straight. Feel with the bound arms, the bones of the spine reaching forward. Find the spaciousness around your heart and feel the core of the body really supporting your long, healthy spine. Good, and then we're going to reach the torso forward over the front leg. Bend the front leg. Really reaching forward. We'll try to keep the hips level to the floor. Good. And then we're going to try and straighten the front leg. We're going to come up against that big resistance. Wondering at the ingenuity of the body. It protects us by not overstretching. See if you can be straightening or towards straight the front leg, but not poking the bones of the spine up to the ceiling. So keeping space around your heart, space for the breath. With a nice dose of self-kindness and compassion. Beautiful. We're going to release the stretch in the front leg, release the arms, step forward, balance on your left leg. And we're going to challenge ourselves with a balance hold. So right foot out in front. Hands can be in front of your heart. Or you can lift your leg higher. You can hold your knee or hold your foot. And whichever challenge you're taking on, keep the bones of the spine reaching forward. Good, and then releasing that side. We're going to take the arms behind again, another arm bind. And this time, forward bend. The feet are hip width and parallel. And you come into Uttanasana, so reaching the top of the head forward. And feeling the bones of the spine reaching forward. Good, and then see how you go. Straightening one leg and then the other. But we keep the back of the neck really long here. Enjoying the flow of the breath. Now we're going to try and keep the bones of the spine feeling like that, but release your arms and put them on the front of your legs or onto the floor. Still going from side to side with the legs. And then we're going to try and straighten both the legs and lift the kneecaps and look forward. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the left side. Do that without swinging the right hip forward. Keep the right hip back. Walking the hands over to the left side and really reach with the right arm so that you feel the right waist and ribs spacious. Neck stays relaxed. Sink the spine forward, finding the breath. And then walking the hands over to the right side. So keep the left hip back and really reaching with the left hand. Keeping the stretch in the legs if you can. Keep the kneecaps lifting. Really reaching with the left arm. Enjoying each breath. And then coming back to center. And rolling up. And arms up. And Tadasana. We're going to bring the hands in front of the heart. Step the left foot back so your tiptoes are touching the floor as far back as you can. You're a little bit bent in your right leg and you're leaning the torso forward. Now, we're going to keep leaning the torso forward until we bring it maybe parallel to the floor. And if you really have the balance in your right leg, you're going to lift your left leg up off the floor. Keep the shoulder blades reaching back, the back of the neck long. Good. Put the foot back down on the floor. We're going to stay leaning forward. Just turn your torso a little bit to the left, back to center, and a little bit to the right, and back to center. Nice work. And then we're going to lift up and step forward and balance on the right leg. This time we're going to take a balance hold with the left leg out to the side, the left side. So that might be tiptoes on the floor, lifting the leg higher, holding the knee, or holding the foot, but out to the left side this time. Good. And then releasing. Bring the hands in front of the heart. We're going to step the right leg back as far as it'll go. So you're on your right tiptoes. And we're going to lean the torso forward, if you can, all the way so it's parallel to the floor. Just notice if the left hip is strong enough to hold. Otherwise, you're just reaching as far as you can. Right, and then see if the right toes will lift up off the floor. Then maybe they will, maybe they won't. Holding the left hip stable. Good work. Now we're going to put the right toes back down onto the floor. We're going to turn the torso a little bit to the left side. And then a little bit to the right side. Back to center. And then lifting up. Whoa. Balancing on the left leg. And the right leg is going to go out to the right side this time. So we're going to take a balance hold again. Either hands at the heart, pressing, tiptoes on the floor, lifting the leg higher, holding the knee or holding. But trying to find your balance. With the right leg heading right. And then releasing. Tadasana with the feet hip width and parallel. We're going to take the arms up, look up. Uttanasana. Hands to the floor, so bend your knees enough to keep that healthy spine feeling, bones of the spine forward. And little walk back. Downward facing dog pose or knees to the floor. Pressing your heels. Breathing deeply. Mm. Knees to the floor and take a seat on a blanket. The higher the blanket, the easier for your forward movement. So I like to make a pillow shape. Take a seat and we're going to take the legs out wide. And what you're aiming for is your knees as wide as they'll go. That'll give you your biggest stretch. Point your toes. So if you point your toes, your hamstrings are not at their full stretch. You'll get a little bit more room to move for the pelvis. And we're going to try and make those spinal wave movements. Well, most people would feel there's more of an impediment to moving here than when we were sitting or when we were standing. So the movement will be more supple, wrong word, subtle. Bring the hands behind the hips. Notice any struggle to find even subtle movement. Allow it to just be the mind and body connection. Trying to get the pelvis to move as part of the spinal wave. The neck, and then the other direction. Okay, we're going to wave ourselves as far forward as our body allows. Toes are still pointing away from you. And then with the breath, with each inhalation, lengthen the spine from the sit bones to the top of the head. And as you exhale, there's room in the belly. So recognize that there's room in the belly and the ribs and the lungs. And see if you can move the spine forward a little bit more. So on the inhalation, we're lengthening. And on the exhalation, we're trying to get a little bit of spinal movement towards the front of the body, where the breath has left some space. Breath by breath. Drawing the shoulder blades back. Feeling the flow of breath in your body. Trying to explore that space, the different feeling in the body between the inhale and the exhale. Noticing and respecting your resistance. When you've reached as far as you can, you might like to try pointing the toes back towards you. It's going to engage the hamstring stretch as well. Meeting that resistance. It's your good friend, always there, luckily. And we're going to roll up. Nice. Take a simple leg position, something that's comfortable for your legs. I like cross legs, but you might be better with your legs out straight. And we're going to take our forward bend again. But then we're going to head it over to the right side, and you're going to reach as far as you can, your torso to the right. And if you reach your arms out as far as they'll go and really stretch with your left arm, then the left rib get that nice opportunity to open right up. Mm. Mm. Good. And then releasing that side and come back to your center. Swap the cross of the legs if they're crossed. And we're going to take our forward movement again, only reach it over to the left side this time. So if you reach your arms as far as they'll go, and especially the right arm, then you're going to really open up the right side of the body. So reaching, bones of the spine, trying to press them forward, back of the neck long and relaxed. And then coming back up to center. We're going to lay down. Put the blanket in underneath your hips. Now you can stay here with the feet on the floor and just get the benefit of that nice opening for the lower back. Or you can come into bamboo pose. So bamboo pose is meant to be restful for the core of the body. So it shouldn't feel like you're struggling to hold your legs there. Sometimes when we're really tight in the back or the hamstrings, it's going to be a struggle. So better here at this part of the practice to be relaxing the core of the body. We want to let go of tension. So feet might be on the floor, feet might be in bamboo pose. Arms where it feels best for you. So it could be by your side, arms up. Could be cactus arms. I like that one. It feels like a stretch I need. If you're working on cactus arms, as I am, I've got quite a difference from shoulder to shoulder. So I imagine sandbag in my hand and a heavier sandbag in the hand that is further from the floor. You might like to try that. And then once I've given that sandbag treatment to my shoulders to get them as feeling as even as I can, I let go of the sandbags and just let my body relax into the shape of the posture. We're just accepting the gifts of the posture now. Without trying to force or change anything. And then hugging in the arms and legs, lifting the hips from the blanket. Bring the arms straight out from the shoulders, inside edges of the feet together and the knees together. Lift the hips to the right, knees go left. And letting yourself lengthen with the right shoulder blade back to the floor, looking over the right side. Finding the flow. The being. And then use your core awareness. And when you lift your legs, the spine feels healthily supported. Bring the legs back up, lift the hips, swing them left, knees go right. Left shoulder blade stays onto the floor and you look in that direction. Just being. Feeling all of the core support. So when you lift your leg, spine feels healthy. Back to center. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to roll over to the right side and come up to sitting. Hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.